With free agency only a couple weeks away, we're now going to be doing the position groups, and I'm going to be giving you guys top 5 guys that I think they should target in each position group. Running back for me is absolutely huge next year. I think it not only helps in the development of, obviously, the offense, but in the development of Davis Mills. Sometimes a running back is a quarterback's best friend. We need someone who can not only run the ball, but could catch the ball, in my opinion. Lovie Smith said it himself that he wants the Houston Texans to be a downhill running back team. So I put up a list of 5, 6, 7 guys who do a bit of both, some more one than the other, but all guys that you could definitely bring in on cheap deals. You're not banking the bank on any of these guys. Definitely guys that are, have high upsides and could potentially, spark for you. So number one, Darrel Williams from the Kansas City Chiefs, 558 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 452 receiving yards, adding 2 touchdowns as well. So 8 touchdown total. I think this kid is absolutely dynamic, right? Very shifty, 5'11", uses his speed, uses his agility to get open in the backfield. Like I said, 452 yards, 1,000 all-purpose yards. This is what the Houston Texans need. Someone who can not only move the chains on the ground, but someone who could also do it through the air. They ran screens with him. He was a very mismatched with the Kansas City Chiefs. Showed up when Clyde Edwards-Helaire went down. Wouldn't mind the Houston Texans going out and targeting Darrel Williams. Very young, I think 24, 25. So definitely someone who could be here for, a long period of time. And also, we know the short span for running backs isn't that long. Number 2 is, kind of that downhill guy is Ronald Jones from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, him and Leonard Fournette are both on my list, but I think Ronald Jones can give you a lot, right? He is the fresher running back of the two. 428 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season, only 64 receiving yards. That's because Leonard Fournette had almost 500 yards himself. Ronald Jones is a back that could potentially get you 8,000 yards if given the chance, right? If given the number one running back role, what can Mr. Ronald Jones do for your team? It's going to be exciting to see because most of these guys right there, they are strong number 2 running backs who have number 1 potential, and Ronald Jones is one of them. Wouldn't mind the Houston Texans going and signing someone like Ronald Jones. Now, number 3 on my list isn't going to be that potential number 1 guy, right? That's J.D. McKissic. And the reason why I love him is the receiving factor, right? He only had 212 yards on the ground, 400 yards through the air receiving, adding 4 touchdowns. However, just the year before in 2020, 589 receiving yards. That is something that the Houston Texans could definitely need. And just booster this offense. This offense needs to be dangerous. You have a young quarterback here. You need to surround him with all the talent. If you gotta, if you gotta do checkdowns, then you need a guy who could not only catch the ball but make yards after the catch. J.D. McKissic, he is up there in age though, 27, 28. A very cheap guy. If you decide to add him, wouldn't mind it. A definite rotational guy. A third down back. Number 4 on my list is just your downhill runner, right? Sony Michel, 931 yards, 4 touchdowns, 131 yards, through the air. This is a guy who is your first and second down back. He's going to put his head down and is going to run through those holes. Exactly what Lovie Smith's want. The only thing about him is he is the most running back who gets tackled for 1 yard and -1 yard, right? Gets stuffed a lot. That's because he is what he is, a downhill running back. Is going to put his, head into your chest and try to truck you and run you over. Sony Michel, definitely still young, was traded to the Rams, damn near had 1,000 yards. He did good with the New England Patriots. Still very young in the 24, in the very early mid-20s. Very cheap option right here. The Houston Texans should definitely target someone like Sony Michel. Marlon Mack makes the list because of the potential that he has. Was a 1,000-yard rusher in 2019. Tore his Achilles in 2020 on the first couple plays, and then in 2021 is behind Jonathan Taylor, is behind N'Keal Himes. Marlon Mack could be a low-risk, high-reward type of player that could give you 1,000 yards on the ground and 1,000 yards, up to receiving. Is damn good. Wouldn't mind him at all. Also, if you want a veteran running back, right? Melvin Gordon had 900 and something yards 8 touchdowns, also three to 400 yards through the air. 28 years old, spent 2 years with the Denver Broncos. I actually wanted him 2 years ago when he was coming from the Chargers. Wouldn't mind him either at all. You're gonna get the veteranship, and you're gonna get a guy who can make plays and still has that burst. So each one of these guys, I think the Houston Texans could definitely bring in and make an immediate impact. But let me know what you guys think. As always, go Houston Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.